Hello learners, in this lecture we will see what is curing of concrete, what are the different ways in which the curing can be done, and we'll try to understand what are the practical applications of this. So the process of spraying or sprinkling the water artificially over the surface of a concrete to keep it moist is called as curing of concrete, right? So in a normal structures and all, or in a local construction, we usually see people sprinkling water on the concrete surface. Let us say today they have done some slab casting or let us say some column casting. So tomorrow they come and they with the help of a pipe they sprinkle the water over that, right? So why that is done? So that actually process what they're doing is called as curing. But why that is done? That is done because not to provide water to the concrete. There is already water in the concrete, because with the help of water cement ratio we know that for this particular mix this much amount has to be added, and we add that water while producing the concrete. But once you put that concrete, and once the concrete sets to hard, it is exposed to the sunlight, isn't it? And due to the sunlight, what will happen? The water which is already there inside the concrete, that will try to evaporate. And if that water inside the concrete tries to evaporate, then what will happen? My cement will not have enough water to get hydration. That means the hydration process will stop. And if the hydration process stops, then what is going to happen? The strength gain will not happen, right? So how do I take care of this? Now I know that if I put a concrete structure, then obviously the evaporation is going to happen. So in order to stop that evaporation, what we do, we artificially spray the water on the concrete surfaces. So if tomorrow even the evaporation happens, then what will happen? The water which we have artificially provided over the concrete, that will get evaporated, and not the water which is present inside the concrete, right? So that is the main idea of doing a curing. Yeah, the function of curing are to prevent the loss of water in the concrete from the evaporation, and also to supplement water consumed in the hydration of the cement. So whatever I've explained, it's the same thing here. So it's something like, if, yeah, see, to understand in a more better way, if a just born child is not properly fed, what is going to happen? It is going to die. So that it's going to die. So what we need to do, we need to properly feed, so that what will happen, it will gain the strength, and also it will grow with stamina, isn't it? So let us say this baby what we have here, let us say this is a concrete, and the milk what you're providing, it is a water. So when a new concrete is put up, right, let it be a slab, a beam, whatever structural limit it may be, so you're providing a water to that, what will happen? It's going to take that water, and as a result of that the curing will happen. And as days pass on, it's not that only one day you're going to feed the baby. In the same way, it's not that only one day you're going to provide water. There's a certain procedure, let's say 7 days or 10 days. So as soon as you keep on giving water to that, it's slowly going to grow, it will gain the strength, and it will it will be in a position to take the load over that, right? Yeah, in the same way, if the concrete is not properly cured in the initial stage, it will, and if you load it, it will lose its, and if you load it, it will lose its strength, and the life of the structure will be affected if you don't do the curing in the initial stage. So it's something like this also, same. Even if you don't feed the newly born baby, then what will happen? It will also not gain strength, and it will die after some time, isn't it? In the same way, the same is with the concrete also. So the dry concrete is equal to a dead concrete. In a dead concrete, what is going to happen? All the reactions will stop. So to keep the temperature at the moderate level of a curing. Yeah, so you can see it here. These are the different ways of curing. Here with the help of a pipe he's doing a curing. This is specially followed in the slabs. We create a bunds in this way, okay, and then we allow the water to store here, right? Similarly, this is he's trying to spray the water. Okay, this is sprinkling. Here they have made use of some waterproof paper, so that it will absorb the water. This is gunny bag what they used. And these are different ways of curing. Here with the help of a gunny bag, they have wrapped the gunny bag to the column, right? So that this gunny bag will absorb the water for a very long period of time. And this is a membrane curing. We'll try to see all these things. What is membrane curing? This is a electrical curing where you provide heat to the concrete structures. And here this is some inclined surface. Here you cannot simply sprinkle the water. If you just sprinkle the water will flow out of this. So what we have done, we have put some gunny cloth which is called as Hessian cloth, right? You can see it written here, Hessian cloth. And then you sprinkle the water, then what will happen? Water will store there for a very long period of time. Yeah, so curing is something like this, isn't it? Usually when we go outside and all, we try to apply some moisturizer cream and all, so that what will happen, will remain fresh, and whatever water is there, right? I mean, we don't want that moisture to be we don't want the moisture to lose. The same thing is with the curing also. And also as you keep on doing the curing, what will happen, the strength gain is going to happen. Let us say when a newborn baby, it will not have any strength, so initially we'll be providing curing to that, so we'll be having a 20% growth. Then slowly after, let us say after 3 to 4 days, it will be gaining 30% growth, then again 50%, 70%. And as soon as, I mean, as you keep on doing the curing, the strength gain will happen, and after some time my concrete will be in a position to take the load coming on that. Now, what is the importance of all these things? So if you refer Indian Standard IS 456 2000 codebook, it is given here the type of formwork and the minimum period before striking the formwork. That is, let us say, so here they are given a days after how many days you can remove the shuttering and all. So once you gain the suppose if you're putting a column and all, immediately on the next day you can try to do the de-shuttering of that, and then you can start with the curing activity. Suppose if it is a slab and all, then what will happen, immediately next day will not allow the slab, I mean will not take out the slab centering and all. We have to do a curing for minimum 14 days of time, and after 14 days you can try to remove all the slab centering plates and all. So those things are given in the code book, you can try to read down here also. When ordinary Portland cement is used, the adequate curing is done. The following striking period may deem to satisfy the guideline given in 11.3, right? So this is how it goes. If your curing is good, then early formwork removal can happen. Yeah. So now coming to the objectives of the curing. First is maintaining the process of hydration by preventing the loss of water by evaporation. Next is to reduce the shrinkage of the concrete, right? Because as soon as you pour the concrete, after some time, we'll be having a plastic shrinkage. So as if you keep on, I mean, immediately if you try to do the curing after some time, then what will happen? The shrinkage is not going to happen. Next is to preserve the properties of the concrete. Next is to increase the impermeability and durability of a concrete. If the strength gain will happen, then what will happen, concrete will be more durable also, right? So also to increase the impermeability and the durability of a concrete, we have to do the curing. And to maintain the uniform temperature throughout the whole of a concrete, we have to do the curing activities. So now we have understood what is curing, why it has to be done and all. So there are many ways of doing a curing. It's not that only we are going to use water. There are different ways and different types of doing a curing. We'll try to see that. First, coming to the concrete curing methods, we have water curing, then we have membrane curing, we have application of heat, we have calcium, we can make use of calcium chloride, then there is something called internal curing. So this internal curing, yeah, this internal curing what we have, it is further classified into direct application, and next we have a wet covering. So in the direct application, what we are going to do, we are going to do immersion, ponding, or spraying. Like we saw, with the help of a pipe you do a spraying, isn't it? So that is a direct application. Sometimes we prepare a cube and all in the labs, you have done it, and then you put it in the curing tank, so that is called as immersion, right? Yeah. Next is a ponding. Ponding usually we do in the slabs and all, where we create a small bund and we allow the water to stay there. So here what is happening is a direct application. The next one is a wet covering. So in the wet covering, you can make use of the earth sand, the sawdust. We saw the hessian cloth, like, or let us say the gunny bags and all. Then the coconut mat, cotton mats, and etc. Right. So this comes under the wet covering. Then comes the member curing. So in the member curing, we can make use of a bituminous compound, we can make use of a clear compounds, and we can make use of a waterproof paper. So under the bituminous compound, you can make use of like coal tar, we can make use of cutback asphalt emulsions and all. And under the clear compounds, you can make use of emulsions of resins, wax, paraffin, acrylic, vegetable oil, rubber, and latex. So why these things are to be used? Because these have a very good viscosity. If you, right, if you take this paraffin wax and all, the viscosity is high, so that the quick evaporation is not going to happen. But if you just sprinkle the water has less viscosity in comparison to this, so water will get evaporated quickly in comparison to this wax, paraffin, and all. So since the viscosity is more, we try to make use of this. Next we have waterproof paper. We'll try to see that waterproof paper. Next is by application of heat. So even by providing heat also, what we are going to do, we are going to do the curing. So in that we have steam curing, we have infrared radiation, and we have electrical curing, right? And then comes the calcium chloride. You can make use of calcium chloride also. One is directly you can apply it on the surface, or in the form of admixture in the solution form you can try to apply the calcium chloride. And the last one is the internal curing, where we actually don't allow the water which is present inside the concrete to get evaporated. That means the curing will happen from the inside only. So these are the different types of curing and all. So in the upcoming lectures, we'll try to see all this curing in a more detailed way, right? And we'll try to understand that. So we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.